Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. We're going to Alberta, Canada in this video. I'm going to take you guys to zoom.earth. We're going to look at the current wildfire situation up here in Alberta, British Columbia, and over in Saskatchewan. Huge wildfires are currently underway that are visible from space. They've had unseasonably warm temperatures that have dried things out and have apparently created a lot of large wildfires. Thousands and thousands of people have been evacuated because of these wildfires, and in some cases, entire communities have been evacuated. We're going to come back and take a look at the details involving these wildfires, and we're going to look at them from space here in just a moment. Also in this video, we're going to Texas. I've got an article I want to share with you guys from last week that involves, of all things, fart spray. I know, I couldn't believe it either until I read the article. Coming over here to the homepage of the website, today's feature photo sent by Corey out of British Columbia, Canada. That's the sun diving down below the horizon at sunset behind wildfire smoke visible from Canada. Checking in on the GOES X-ray flux over here at the Space Weather Prediction Center. You can see right now as I'm doing this video, there's a strong M-class solar flare currently underway. That's on the heels of one that just occurred a couple of hours ago. So solar activity is definitely on the rise. Looking at the Earth-facing side of the sun, you can see a collection of sunspots over here at the Solar Dynamics Observatory, and we can confirm those sunspots thanks to Scott from Shelton, Connecticut. This is a video he took from early this morning looking at the Earth-facing side of the sun. And yes, indeed, there are the sunspots and active regions that we just saw from the space satellite, the Solar Dynamics Observatory. And over here on the left, you can see some sunspots that Scott noticed, some new ones that are getting ready to turn towards the Earth here in about 72 hours, and those look like they're pretty good sized sunspots and active regions. And right now the solar activity is high, and it's only going to continue to get higher. The D region of planet Earth right now is under a proton acceleration event. That means the Earth is being swarmed by charged particles from all this solar activity, and the energy from these proton storms is funneled to the north and south poles, and it creates the big red lines you see at the top and bottom of this graph. That means we're in the middle of a strong solar storm, so there's radio blackouts at the north and south poles. And speaking of blackouts, coming over here to poweroutage.us, you can see right now 50,515 customers without electricity in Texas. And here's one of the reasons why: a strong storm system that had tropical storm force winds. Notice the sideways rain as the winds were very strong, and that's what created a lot of the power outages that are still underway in Texas. You can see the large storms over here on the satellite presentation on the left, and there they are in reality on the right. That's the storm system, one of the storm systems that went through the Houston area, creating high winds and heavy rain. And this storm also produced sheet lightning, as you're going to see right here. Notice the vertical panels of light. That's called sheet lightning. That is a real phenomenon. That is not a camera glitch. The camera recorded exactly what it saw, and you can see the storms once again over here on the satellite presentation as the storms produced tropical storm force winds. And you can tell by looking at these trees, those winds were easily tropical storm force. Almost looked like a tropical storm was moving through the area, but that was a very strong thunderstorm yesterday afternoon, going from Texas to Bloomington, Illinois, where storms were moving through the central Illinois area a couple of days ago, producing hail. You can see here bouncing off the deck of Kenya's house. You can see lightning up in the sky as she took this video as storms were moving through the area. That's probably pea-size, marble-size hail. Also have some video footage sent in by Josh Loftus out of Lindsay, Oklahoma, of some lightning from recent storms that went through the Oklahoma area. We've seen a lot of storms here recently throughout the Central Plains, bringing a lot of hail and high winds, and of course some very intense lightning. You just saw some sheet lightning right there in Lindsay, Oklahoma. Thanks for the great videos, guys. Really do appreciate that. I want to take you guys now back up to the Alberta, Canada area. This is kind of like ground zero of the wildfires that are currently underway. And one of the premiers in Alberta is calling the situation unprecedented, as the temperatures so far this year have far exceeded the the yearly norms for this time of year. And I had a viewer a couple of days ago send me a message saying that the temperatures up in Alberta were unseasonably warm at 31 degrees Celsius, which is around 87 degrees, which is quite warm for this time of year. And here's a look at the wildfires on Zoom Earth, and you can see they are quite large, and that is the exact location right in here. And from what I understand, Drayton Valley, according to this article, has been completely evacuated. You can see the helicopter flying above Drayton, trying to bring some water into the area. Again, a community of around 7,000 people right in the middle of all of these wildfires. And the wildfires, you can see right here on this map, can indeed be confirmed over here at zoom.earth. And the wildfire smoke is just incredibly thick. Here's a still image of that area, and this is where the evacuations primarily are right now. These are images from May the 5th. We can step these forward a day at a time over here at zoom.earth. This is May 5th. We can step it forward to May 6th. You can see cloud cover starting to come in. It's kind of overwhelming the smoke, kind of moving it out of the area, actually. Some light showers are in the area that's helping the wildfire situation. And here's today. You can still see the smoke, but they are calling for light showers in some of the areas where there are wildfires currently underway. And once again, thousands of people have been evacuated from Alberta, British Columbia, and Saskatchewan. Not so much in Saskatchewan, but primarily in Alberta, as there is a large wildfire situation underway. I want to take you guys now down to Texas. I'm going to keep this story brief. It's just a story that I found quite bizarre. I've never heard anything like this, and it involves a can of fart spray at a school in Texas that is north of the Houston area, the same location as these storms that we saw yesterday, not in Humble, Texas, but in that location. Apparently, according to this article dated May 7th of 2023, article from ndtv.com, to make a long story short, apparently a student let a can of fart spray off inside the school. The school had to be evacuated, and one student finally confessed to using a can of fart spray. This occurred on Wednesday of last week. They ended up calling in the Caney Creek, that's where this occurred, fire and rescue, to have them investigate what was going on inside the buildings there. And then, like I said, one student finally confessed to using a can of fart spray inside the school. Well, I guess the smell was so bad that they sent everybody home that day on Wednesday. They didn't return to school on Thursday, and they didn't return to school on Friday. So because of a student playing a prank, this school was closed for 2.5 days over a can of fart spray. Have never heard anything quite like that. Thanks for the photos and videos, guys. Keep them coming. If you guys have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports at MrMBB333.com. If you guys are in the Canada area, be safe up there. Those are some very big wildfires. And thanks, Corey, for the incredible photo out of British Columbia, Canada. If you guys have any videos you'd like to share that are too large to attach to the email, come over here to the homepage of the website. Look for this red banner that says, have a large video. Simply click on the red banner, drag and drop your video into the red tab. Please include your first name, date, and location, and I'll take it from there. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.